What's up, Zox fam? Now, the closed beta 2 has been officially announced. And guys, this is massive because it will be launching on February 19th. Now, we're going to be getting into some of the details, especially for those of you guys that are newer to the channel, just so you can make sure you're getting into the beta if you have not signed up. And then I want to actually jump into something that I found to be quite interesting with what they decided to tease and who and what I think this person might be in relevance to the story and, you know, all the rewriting and jazz, right? So we're gonna get into that in a second. But first things first, the closed beta 2, guys, okay? It is going to be ending for the signups on February 7th, okay? So it is going to be very important that you make sure that you fill it out before that time period, because after that, and I've had a lot of people, this happened for the CBT 1, yo, Zox, I'm just now figuring out about this game. Listen, you got to sign up now, because if you want your chance to, you know, potentially get in, that's when you're going to have to make sure you're signed up by, okay? They're going to be distributing everything, or at least, I guess, opening up everything on the 19th. So I'm assuming before then, probably the 18th, 17th, somewhere around there, depending on what you are or who you are. They're going to be distributing those, invitations a little bit early, give people time to download the test version of the game. And kind of from there, then the servers will actually go live. Now, again, there's a couple of other things we'll talk about later, but that's at least the main basis, right? So again, February 7th, you need to sign up. I will have this link down below to the wutheringwaves.kiro.com so that you guys can make sure you get in, okay? So again, if you guys have any extra questions, I will have another video link for extra chances so that you can see how to go about doing that for the extra beta invitation. But the sign up itself is your entry. I know some people are confused on that. The sign up itself is your entry, but through the website, there's other ways that you can win other prizes and even a CBT invitation. So just kind of putting that out there. That's basically how it works. But nonetheless, get it done, okay? Now, this is what I really wanted to talk about, okay? So with the closed beta 2 and the advertisement and the post that they decided to put up on their Twitter page, they actually are showing a character with her hand extended. And this is a new character. I've never seen this character. And what they actually decided to do as well is they decided to also have the Rover's hand showing. Now, the other thing, and this is kind of like getting a little bit deeper into like who this person might be or who they could be. Now, there's a couple of different indications that I want to kind of work with here, right? Now, for those of you guys that can't see, let me actually move my camera over just a little bit. So you see, like right next to me, the Rover's hand is lit up. So you see that the marking, which all the resonators have, is actually lit up when his hand is reaching out towards this lady, right? And the thing is that looks like that's as if he's getting some sort of like power, or he's resonating with this person, right? And the fact that this person is reaching out back and you see waves coming off of her, it kind of, to me, is an indication that this is someone of significance to who the Rover might be, or even the origin of the Rover. So it's just a really interesting interaction just to see. But let's take it a step further, okay? Now, the other thing that I actually noticed, because I'm very analytical, is the markings on her neck. Now, I was trying to find if she had any similar markings as the resonator, and she actually does. So in her neck, she actually has a symbol, and the way that they kind of angled her with the kind of like the God complex angle where she's looking down, she's actually has a marking in her neck that's dark, and then it goes into like kind of like the rest of her collar, right? So it's like right in between where, I guess where you would say almost like where her trachea is, and it is a dark mark. Now, for me, this could also mean something in terms of maybe originator or original, because everyone else's markings are like in very, very interesting spots. Like you look at Kakarot's, his markings on the top of his head. You look at Rover, the marking is on your hand. And then when you look at other characters, it might be on their arm or it might be on their leg. But this is a very, very specific spot. And then when we're looking at like certain things that I like to break down as like forms of power or influence, it's specifically in a spot where the representation of your voice is. So I was kind of like, okay, I see them trying to cook a little bit with some real details here. So I was like, okay. But then it's an even bigger picture, because then I had to look at her crown or her head. And I was like, okay, this is reminding me of something. And I was like, this is actually reminding me of the solar system. And it might seem kind of childish, but just hear me out, okay? So if you actually take a look here at the outer ring, there's like a planet, and the first planet that came in my head, if I can remember correctly, was like Pluto. So, you know, like Pluto's like one of those, well, now it's like a star, but like it was one of our smallest planets, right? And then it's kind of like, you know, you see another planet on the ring, and then you have another two planets, or objects, circular objects, I'm not going to say planets, rotating on the second inner ring. And then in the middle of her head, she actually has a stone or crystal of some sort. I can't really tell if it's actually attached or if it's something floating, but that is attached to or it is there in the center, right? Now, again, let me show you guys a picture of the solar system. The solar system literally is a light object, which that kind of seemed to represent in the middle. And then there's these outer rings where the planets are within the gravitational pull are rotating on a perfect axis around it. So that kind of begs to ask the question of, if this person, or is this person someone that has some sort of significance as to creation or the start of the universe. So this very well could be someone that is extremely tied to, or I would say definitely tied to, the creation of the rover, right? And I think that that's even like another play and could be a stretch as well. But then when you even take a step further and you go into the character's hair, this reminded me of constellations. So that was another thing that I was like, wait a minute, like they're going really, really deep with this. So let's actually search that up. So we'll do constellations in the sky, right? And the thing is that when I was looking at that, I was like, wait a minute, this is getting really, really deep. So let's see, go to images, and then look at this, guys. You cannot tell me that's not what's being shown in the hair. So this is basically, again, representation of the universe. So we have what I would consider, we have the solar system, we have constellations or connections of stars. We also have the symbol, or the what I would call the resonator symbol, for representing their waves or their abilities that they have, or the ability to be turned into, I think it's echoes, right? And so it is really, really interesting to see that this is one of the first representations that we're getting as we're marching into this new lineup of story. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I ate that, by the way. So either way though, I will say, I am very, very excited to see who this person is. And I think that with all of the context clues given here by the character's design, this is definitely a god character. I don't believe that this is just going to be some random character. And if this character is going to be playable at some point, I don't know, possibly. I mean, the thing is that the character, for at least without a doubt, I feel like is going to definitely be some sort of NPC or something, because when it especially comes to god characters, there's no way that, like, unless this lady like becomes human or something, like, she's obviously strong, she's obviously going to be powerful, or she might not even be an entity that really fights at all, you know? So there's a lot of different possibilities that kind of go along with this character. And I'm really, really excited to see what else we'll be having shown leading up to the 19th, because that means we're going to be getting a lot more. And I'm definitely going to be deep diving, breaking these pictures down and taking a look at what these characters are all about. So again, guys, let me know what you guys have to add. If there's something else that you feel like is of significance that maybe I might have missed, because this is actually pretty cool. And there's a lot that you can gather from this picture, even though it is only showing one person, right? So that's basically going to be that, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.